B-double-E-double-R-U-N, beer run. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, beer run. All we need is a 10 and a 5 or a car and a key and a sober driver. B-double-E-double-R-U-N, beer run.
Welcome to the Beer Run, part of the BS and Beer family, the only Saints podcast with a 2-drink minimum and takes as bad as hoping the Panthers can do you a favor in Week 18.
That's a joke, boy. You missed it. Went right past you. You gotta keep on your toes. Put toes at it.
Nope. No, sir. I am the California Cajun. With me, as always, is Dale, Lil Dice, and a special guest, the beer chaser himself. B-Train is in the house. How you guys doing today?
What is up? Happy to be here tonight.
Yeah, man. Good to see you guys. My guy B-Train coming through. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, I look forward to the energy, the chemistry between myself and Craig, especially if the topic of Ty J. Spears comes up. That'll be good. Electric.
Well, considering he's not a Saint and this is a Saints podcast, I don't know why I would.
Well, if we start talking about draft picks and guys that might play this weekend and alternatives, I don't know. The sky's the limit. We'll find out.
There we go. This is what we're in for this week on the Beer Run. So
Drama.
we got 4 downs for you. We're gonna be talking about some beer, and we're gonna be talking Saints news and recapping victory over the Bucs. And on 3rd down, we've got a question that we're going to answer. And on 4th down, we're going to deep dive into the game versus the Falcons and get some predictions. So refs, get out there, spot the ball. Let's get this thing going.
First down, Saints.
All right, Craig, what you drinking, bro?
Well, just a mention about our whole 3rd down not having a guest thing. We are keeping up our tradition of not allowing Falcons fans anywhere near me at any time. So we're going to have them on here. It is the last week of the season, regular season at least, and I'm in my guesstimation season altogether. I don't think you go past farther than this. So I'm having my favorite beer in the world. I'm having a couple more arrogant bastards leaving in the fridge, and I'm going to crack one open for this show. It is strong, it is beautiful, it is delicious, but how does it sound? That's what I'm talking about, all right? You can't beat that. You can try to beat it, and you're not gonna because it's better than you, and I love it. What about you guys?
All right. B-Train, what you got, man?
Man, well, I'm sorry to disappoint. And I'm going to admit right off the bat, it's not going to be arrogant bastard ale. But I'm already failing the rules of this show. Is it 2 drink minimum or 2 beer minimum? It's called the beer.
It's only 2 drink minimum. Sometimes we just do shots before we get on here.
Oh, there you go. Pre-game a little bit. Well, I've got a Truly that I am going to mix with some Baja Blast. And I'm not even going to attempt to compete, but just for the record, here's what it sounds like. Ready?
Yeah, pause the goddamn show, Dale. So you're having a Truly, and you're mixing a Truly with a soda.
With Baja Blast.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
I'm a gamer. Straight up.
Ooh.
Hey,
Wow.
Look, I can't man, because it's January and we're still talking about the Saints. So there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll wash it down with my
You could talk to Dale and his pink drinks that he does every any fantasy show, and it's still manlier than what I just freaking heard right now. Unbelievable.
This is just counterbalancing the fact that all those years I was living in California, it could just rub it in your face when I was drinking Stone or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived there until 2020.
Not so good these days.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was
All right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I am drinking more Bird Dog whiskey, peppermint flavored. It was delightful, and it's the only thing I really got right now. So there you go. Cheers.
Can you simulate the cracking noise? Crack it open a whiskey?
Mm-hmm. Pop.
Oh. Sounds way stronger than mine.
Oh, that's a good beer, y'all.
Same. Likewise.
2nd down.
Let's talk about some Saints news. Rashid Shaheed selected to the Pro Bowl as a kick returner.
So that's fun.
Wonderful.
It's fun because we get a singular Pro Bowler. You remember when we had like 8 guys go every year? You remember that? You remember like our whole offense went? That was fun.
Don't remind me.
Those times. That was some cool stuff.
I wish there was a way of knowing that you were in the good times when you were in them.
When you're still in them.
Yeah. But hey, we got Shaheed, and then before him, Hardy. So we've started a little tradition of making sure that we at least get our kick returner in the Pro Bowl every year. It's kind of nice.
Hardy was a special teams ace. He wasn't a kick returner. Get your back straight. You're going to be on the beer run. We're doing this right.
Hardy was.
Go ahead.
I'm
special
Googling
teams
returner,
really
right?
one kick return.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Damn.
Rookies crashing my show real quick. So, I mean, let's be real. He didn't deserve to make the Pro Bowl this year as a kick returner. He didn't deserve to make it as a receiver. But of the kick returners, he was the best receiver. So I think he got a little more attention. You know, you get a few more eyeballs on you. You catch a few deep balls. And also you're in the kick returner category to vote for. So it's cool that he's there. But I hate the Pro Bowl. Is so stupid.
Well, and by the time they actually play it anyway, it's not going to matter because, 75% of those guys will have changed out like 3 times anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when it was in Hawaii and it was after the Super Bowl and they had like, oh, these are the champs, and they, the guys who were on the Super Bowl team that made the Pro Bowl came out. It was a cool thing. Everybody wanted to go to it, man. I wanted to go to Hawaii for the Pro Bowl. That would have been dope as fuck. But now it's like, all right, we're gonna do
flag
some
football game now, right?
Yeah, it's flag and it's a skills competition and
Dodgeball.
it's before the
Silly.
Super Bowl and it's just stupid and it's garbage. Look, man, Rashid Shaheed is a Pro Bowler and Colston never got picked. The Pro Bowl has zero meaning to me in any way.
Oh my God. That's a good
I
point.
hope he got some kind of bonus for it though. So be nice to him. Marshawn Lattimore got his deal restructured, and
He gone.
from all the stuff I'm reading, it just makes it possible for the Saints to trade him. So do you guys see that happening?
Yes.
Yes, because Dennis Allen hates us. He hates the fans and he hates the team.
Yep. And he knows this is his last year with us, and he's going to burn us to the ground.
Big brain move right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's going to make it so bad here that no one else wants the job, so they can't fire him.
God, and Lattimore's so good. Why would you even entertain that? Pay him. I mean, pay him whatever it's worth.
I mean, all right. So they tried to move on from him a few years back when they tried to move up and get a new corner. This is J.C. Horn, I think, who we were going after.
Yeah.
So they tried it before, and then this last, time he's coming off his 3rd year in a row that he's missed significant time with an injury. Oh, well, I know they're freak injuries. It's still injuries. It still fucking happened. A broken finger and a lacerated kidney aren't related, but they still fucking happen. So, I mean, maybe they're trying to get a little safer at that position. Maybe they're getting some fool's gold that,
Oh my God.
Isaac Yiadom and Adebo beat up on some bad quarterbacks and they think they can get away with this kind of thing. I don't know, man. If you want a full rebuild, you need to have a corner. And so if you trade him away, you're probably getting a draft pick you're using on a corner. I don't know what we're doing with that.
He's Mike Evans' dad, man. And that's kind of nice having that around. And by the way, can we point out how messed up it was that the Panthers went and sniped Horn just solely for the fact that they knew that we wanted him? That was it.
That's right.
Look, without Cam Newton, they're just trying to be relevant. So if they can just make us hate them, that's all they have. They're not rivals anymore. So they're just trying to be, okay, well, we'll poke the bear. Like, shut up, you guys ain't shit.
God, they're punks. I hate them.
Alvin Kamara has not been practicing after leaving the game with that ankle injury. So
He gone.
it's most likely looking like he will not play this final game. So,
But he'll probably get to play in the Super Bowl with the Bills next year. So that's kind of cool.
Unless Josh Allen stops giving the ball to the other team, they ain't going to the Super Bowl neither. Look, yeah, I could see Kamara getting traded. It sucks, but it's less. I think the writing on the wall is on the wall for Lattimore. I think he's gone. I mean, it's possible that Kamara gets moved, but it's not a foregone conclusion to me. There's still reasons to think he's going to be here. His contract is if they rework it like Lattimore, yeah, dude, gone for sure. But right now, it's more expensive to not have Kamara than it is to have him. So, I could see him staying. It wouldn't shock me if they traded him. It would shock me if we didn't trade Lattimore at this point.
I hope they keep AK. He's just I mean, he's been the heart of this team for a few years now. He's a lot of fun to watch. And I really don't want to see him going somewhere else. So I hope you're right on that.
Well,
I always am right.
Not about the Kendrick Miller pick.
Oh.
Had to get it in there. Had to.
This is why nobody watches the
Man,
Beer Chasers. You guys are terrible.
No, Kendrick might be watching.
Dummy.
No, it clearly doesn't care about the game or he didn't play in it.
Damn.
Nephi Sewell placed on IR.
That sucks.
He gone.
And
yeah, he's on IR
Did have
one game left.
somebody-
Thank you, B-Train. Thank you for your fucking insight today.
See, big brain football knowledge right there.
we did have somebody come back from IR. That's right. Peyton Turner activated from IR, and he is going to play.
Over under
Is he?
3 quarters before he gets hurt.
Oh, God. I'm taking the under. And I'll take the under on one tackle, too.
He's going to be active for the full game. He might not see the field, though, because it's his first game back off IR, and, the D-line actually played well last week, so why would you be pushing him in if he's not ready? I don't know, bro. I've given up on Peyton Turner. I'm already ready to draft defensive end first in the draft next year.
Yeah, we'll draft a big defensive end from the University of North Texas because these guys all got to come from Texas for some reason. Probably trade up in the first round to get them, and then here in 3 or 4 years we'll be having the same conversation.
We're gonna be picking like 11th through 12th. If we trade up from there, he better be a stud.
Yeah, you can get a good player from the University of North Texas or Texas Tech or something like that.
Yes, instead of drafting from a powerhouse like Tulane. Get out of here.
Hey, if we had in the third round of last year, I think we'd be in a little better position right now.
The Saints are snake bitten with injuries. If Tajay Spears came to the Saints, he wouldn't have any ACLs anymore.
He didn't have any to begin with, and he's got
He'd have less. He'd have negative
points.
ACLs.
Wow.
He would grow a new one, and it would pop out the side of his knee, and he'd be done for his career.
He'd be taking them from other players.
They're poison.
Well, Peyton Turner better not take away any snaps from Zach Bond. That's all I know.
Yeah,
Zach Bond is a man.
More rundowns, right? I mean, if anything, it might get Cam Jordan off the field a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably, but Bond's been good lately, which means that the Saints just won't re-sign him, and he'll go rack up 12 sacks with another team next year. You know what?
He's got 2 sacks this whole year, and everybody's talking about how he's going to be this huge fish to get away. Fuck's sake, guys.
Zach Bond is
amazing. You can't play him a whole game at defensive end because he weighs like 200 pounds. All right, you can't do him. You can put him in exactly in the situations they're doing right now, and that's it. Because if you have him on the field for anything else, he's in the dirt. God damn, I'm tired of arguing about Zach Bond. I like Zach Bond, but he's not a linebacker and he's not a defensive end. So you play him where you can. Right now they can, because what else are they going to fucking do? They're terrible.
Well, I'm tired of arguing in support of him, but I got to poke the bear somehow.
Oh man, let's recap this game over the Bucs. The Saints beat the Bucs 23-13.
Yeah, it did.
So, B-Train, give me your overall thoughts about this game.
Man, that was awesome. I was watching that game at work with a Bucs fan. I know there's not very many of them, but one of the few that does exist.
Is he a Tom Brady jersey?
yeah, he does have one actually. Wore it to work that day. But that was satisfying. I was getting a little frustrated early on, but I think by the second half, I felt good. I gotta wonder that hit that Baker took. Now, look, I'm not advocating bounties or anything like that, but my God, if that dude's playing with broken freaking ribs against the Panthers this weekend,
they'll only win by 10.
Yeah, they might only win by 10. But
look, if we had a bounty program, you think the guy that's putting the late hit on him is going to be the 150-pound soaking wet Tyrann Mathieu? Come on, there's your Zach Bond. That's Zach Bond. Go get him.
Nobody would have suspected that.
Hey, to be fair, Honey Badger knocked the shit out of him. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, he did. Man, that was a good game.
You know what? Good.
Yeah.
Good. This league is getting a little soft. Okay, every once in a while, it's worth 15 yards to deliver a message. All right,
But that was a legal hit too. That was a
Legal
clean hit.
Should've
Bucs
got
fans,
15 yards.
yeah, they're big mad about it. But who cares? It was worth the penalty. But yeah, if you watch it again,
you hear the Bucs players after talking about how we're the ones doing all these dirty hits.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
they ain't been
they're
taking
real.
cheap shots at Lattimore for 3 years. Shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
Buccaneers fans.
Don't-
Jesus Christ.
Oh, they're dirty as hell. Don't
Just
go on their
ruined Winston's
subreddit.
career.
Don't go on their subreddit. Oh my god, it's rage inducing. I don't know why I do this to myself because I'm a troll and I can't help it.
Masochist.
Just enjoy drinking their tears. But was not happy about them beating us earlier in the season. I was not happy about them beating us twice last year. That pissed me off. They're normally our whipping boys. They're not meant to challenge us. They belong in the trash. That's where they belong. They're not even. I don't even hate them like I hate the Falcons or even other teams. There's non-division teams like the Vikings and the Rams that I hate more than the Bucs.
Yeah.
So I don't like when they start getting a little too big for their britches. Just go back in the garbage where you belong.
The thing about that game that made me the most mad is they didn't even they just kind of ran out of time because that Dennis Allen prevent defense that just falls apart as soon as they start throwing the ball down the field. Where you have Pete Warner running 60 yards downfield for some fucking reason. Thank God of that booth review of the guy stepping out of bounds, because when they looked like they made it an 8-point game, I was like, shit, this is going to be the heartbreak. Our third down question, when is the heartbreak coming? It's coming right now because they're going to come back and they're going to embarrass. What were we up by in Tampa last year? It was 16-0 with 3 minutes left or something like that, and we ended up losing that game. Well, I am used to just insane, heartbreaking bullshit. I was ready for it. I was prepared for our season to end in flames, and they just ran out of time. They ran out of time and ribs.
Well, if you ask them, the Saints didn't win. The Bucs just ran out of time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
I mean,
they kind of did at the end. We dominated for 3 quarters.
Oh,
3 quarters.
Right.
We beat the piss out of them in every phase, and then the fourth quarter, I don't know. We thought we were up by enough, and we sat back, and it turned out to be accurate. But God, I hate that. I miss that whole killer instinct where you're up by enough and you put your foot on their fucking neck and then you never look back. And we don't have that right now. We get super conservative. Look at Derek Carr's numbers in the first half were incredible. He was so efficient, so accurate, looked great. Took some not deep shots, but he moved the chains on some pretty good throws. And second half, they didn't give him any chances to do any of that. It was all so careful, just playing not to lose. And it ended up working, but I can't stand it. I can't stand that kind of scared mentality.
No, they got to change. We all know they're not going to change much, but going forward, if they at least change the offensive mindset, however they do that, to get us out of that shit. Look, the Patriots game where we beat the tar out of them, that was this season. That doesn't feel like it. That feels like it was like 5 years ago. But if we could do that more often.
Even looking at that game, our offense wasn't great. Our defense was so good that game, and their offense was so bad in that game that we kind of out these short fields and kind of just worked out,
Yeah.
But looking back at it, one of our touchdowns was the pick six. We didn't open it up. Our best game was probably against the Giants. We kind of just wire to wire dominated them, followed by this one where we kind of kicked the shit out of them. But it's tough, man. It's so inconsistent and so varying and so weird and wild. You have no idea what's going to happen, which is why I think we're going to lose by 30 this week.
God, I hope not.
Spoiler alert.
Look, if any of us gets mad about losing to the Buccaneers, it's nothing compared to losing to the Falcons. God, I hate them so much.
Yes. Agreed. But the Saints, shout out the Bucs until the fourth quarter. So that was big time for the defense. It just looked like a different team overall. Just watching them play this game, because like I said, we dominated that game for the first 3 quarters there.
Line play. That's it. Our line played better. Both sides of it. Trenches, we owned the trenches, and it changed everything. And you could see the blueprint for what the whole Saints team this year was supposed to be. If our line played the way it did against Tampa all season, we're resting starters this week, because that's all that all of the defense is built on. If you have a big push from your D line, if you've got some pass rush, if you can own the trenches like that, you can stop the run. Defense is dominant. Our offense is built. If you can run the ball, you can work play action, you can get these kind of intermediate short stuff going, you kill. That's what the team was designed to do. And our lines, both sides, have been so bad all year that it's never come to fruition until the second to last week of the year. It's insane.
It's sad.
With a third string right tackle, no less.
Yeah. I mean, I think they kind of figured that out. But, man, not only did we hold them on rushing pretty well, but, like, Baker was running for his life. And sometimes he was able to make some plays, but they definitely had him nervous and were able to take advantage of that a number of times in the game.
You know, everybody makes fun of, like, Kyler Murray and Bryce Young when they run around, they look kind of like a toddler that stole the remote. But Baker's not far off. He looks like a kid who ain't supposed to have a candy bar, and he seems that he knows he has a candy bar.
Well, he keeps going to these terrible teams.
Yeah, doesn't help.
Yeah,
doesn't help.
Yeah, the Saints defense held the Bucs running game to 57 yards, and the Saints ran the ball for 108 yards. So definitely.
Which felt like a lot for us, but it still isn't all that much. But for us, with how we've been, it felt like a ton. We had 44,
but still controlled the line of scrimmage. Yes,
right.
We also saw interceptions by Jonathan Abram and Alontae Taylor. Taylor. I'm sorry. Well, Taylor, is a name you kind of hear of, every week, but Jonathan Abram, like. Wow.
Yeah, so the Abram one was a tipped ball. He got the start over Howden at safety, which worked out really well. He's a really aggressive, kind of closer to the line of scrimmage, knock people's faces off kind of safety that I love that. He had a great game, and I don't know why you'd not start him this week, especially against a running team. But, yeah, his pick was on a tip. Alontae Taylor, the ball was underthrown because he got beat again, because that's his job, is to play in the slot and get beat. So, I mean, they're fortuitous interceptions. I mean, and the fumbles are all just like, the Buccaneers gave us that game until the fourth quarter, and I'm a man enough to realize it. What about that deep ball where he scorches Yadam? He catches the ball 60 yards downfield, straight onto the end zone, falls down and fumbles it. Like, we caught our breaks, man. For all the games this year that everything's gone against us, we caught some breaks this week, and I'll take it.
And, in the rushing game, too, for us, actually, I'm looking at the stats right now, and I don't even remember it being this way. I remember that Williams got the ball a lot, but he had almost twice as many carries as AK.
Well, it helped that Kamara left with that ankle.
Yeah,
second quarter.
Yeah, the first half. He only played the first half. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, Williams, we've needed him to do more this year, and I don't necessarily know if it's on him or on just the play calling, but I definitely expected a lot more of him. So it was nice for him to be able to come in relief and be effective. And Taysom Hill, they didn't really use him, in the run game.
They really get him as a receiver. Yeah, he's really been opening up as a receiver lately. The thing about Jamal Williams that blows me away is I like him. I like him as a dude, and I think his contract works out that he's going to be here next year. And I think a lot of his struggles have been more O-line related than him related. He was going to go from leading the league in touchdowns to not having any the following season.
Wow.
He got the bag though this last week. Like, this is the last chance for it, and it's not going to happen. So he's going to end up going from leading the league in touchdowns to 0 the following year. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's a shame. And I think Lions fans were upset to see him go too, but I'm pretty sure they don't even remember his name at this point.
Yeah, I live with one and that she doesn't.
Yeah.
I kind of remember some guy saying that, when we signed him, like, he wasn't special, and then some other guy was like, "Oh, well, he scored the most touchdowns last year."
It's hard to ignore that.
Special?
Dale's trying to take a victory lap for being negative in September.
I see you.
Some of the things I remember, Craig. Just some of the things I remember.
I haven't been impressed with all the running backs on this team either. I don't feel like I need to mention names at this point, but I think y'all know who I'm talking about. Kamara's great, though. Taysom Hill's great. Williams is okay. Other than that, steep drop-off.
Steep.
I see you shaking your head.
I'm in my relax mode, all right? I'm not going to get dragged into this petty garbage with a Tulane fan. Tulane in Colorado.
What are you
good right now? Good.
I don't know what you're talking. Oh, I guess Ty J. Spears did go to Tulane. Yeah, forgot about that. That's weird.
LSU fired 80% of their defensive coaches after going 10 wins. Well, I want to see what happens when Tulane gets 10 wins. They're building a statue of whoever's on that staff.
They had 10 wins. They had 11 wins this year. They had 12 wins last year.
Oh, wow. And everyone jumped ship for better offers.
No, they're bringing some good dudes in. Come on, man. They just got to order. Hey,
who are they from? Houston? They got left for Houston. Yeah, it's tough.
This is the Saints podcast.
That's what I thought it was.
Man, rip the Tulane up, man. Come on. What Tulane do to you, dude?
Yeah, come on, roll weight. That is New Orleans Division I team.
Yeah.
We were talking about Titans running backs on a goddamn Saints podcast.
Let's talk about the Saints offense. Well, the passing game. And the big thing for the passing game was Juwan Johnson.
Yeah.
He led the team with 12 targets, catching 8 of them for 90 yards and a touchdown. Where the hell has this been all year?
That somersault catch on 3rd and long was awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was after he left the game injured, came back in, and then made that play. He's badass.
Yeah.
But this is the guy we were expecting all year. We talked about how Carr has had these good connections with tight ends, about how he kind of made Darren Waller into a stud, and then Darren Waller went somewhere else and hasn't been shit since. So, I mean, he's got that seam route, that tight end hitter, that all that shit that we were ready for Juwan Johnson to blow up. And, the last couple of weeks, the first time we've seen it.
I mean, yeah, it's good to see. But look, where was Jimmy Graham today during this game? I mean, maybe we didn't need him, but I'll tell you what.
We're scoring points. I question personnel decisions when we're not scoring points, frankly.
Yeah, no, good point. But I'll tell you what, though. This is final game of the season against the Falcons, and it's at home. And, you got to figure very, very possibly Jimmy Graham's last game. They got to get him in the end zone just one last time.
He needs 25 targets, all in the end zone. And if he doesn't dunk on that fucker, I riot.
Yeah, dude, look, I'll pay his fine. I'll pay his fine. Well, maybe not all of it. Maybe I'll start a GoFundMe.
You got that B-train money rolling in here.
Yeah, I'm doing okay, but not good enough to pay. I like how these minor infractions on the field, the fine is like, a lot of people's, entire year's salary.
Yes.
No, you got these vicious hits where the guy's head almost comes off, and it's like, we'll charge you $75. And then somebody steps out of bounds in the wrong direction. It's like, that's $120,000. What the fuck are you talking about? The NFL is so stupid with these fines. I'm not even getting into it. I can't. I'm in my relaxed phase.
That's right.
I'm not getting riled up
today. Speaking of fines, did you hear that Tepper got fined $300K for throwing a drink on a fan?
Is he a billionaire with a B?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. No,
it's so nice.
Thank God that dude bought the Panthers, because Jerry Richardson actually at least tried to make the Panthers relevant and good. Tepper just sucks, man. We are very fortunate because he's like a Kmart version of Jerry Jones, right? And they're not going to be relevant again for a very long time. Nobody's going to want to coach there. No one's going to play there. And of course, he's probably too much of a narcissist to admit that he sucks. And he'll be the next Dan Snyder. There you go. Maybe not pimping out cheerleaders.
For our younger listeners, Kmart used to be a chain of stores, kind of like a cheap Target. They went out of business several years ago. But B Train is older than dirt and remembers all this stuff.
Yeah, it still look good though.
I got the beer goggles. I couldn't argue with you.
I've got the Truly. Hey, Truly's better than White Claw though, right?
Sure. If you're mixing a White Claw with soda, then yeah, same ballpark.
Yeah, but it's not just any soda. It's Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
I didn't even know you could get that outside of Del Taco or Taco Bell or whatever the fuck it was.
It's
you had to go into the place to get it.
Del Taco, good California reference. Well,
thank you.
It's the 20th Baja anniversary this year. I swear I am not sponsored by Taco Bell. I don't think the show is either. Just Purple Valley, but I'm listening.
That's right.
I'm listening if Taco Bell wants to put an ad on here.
Yeah, we're open to
it. Yes, I'm sure they're gonna call any minute now. It would that B-Train sponsorship.
It would pair very well with Purple Valley, I think.
Yes.
You know what?
Yeah,
that's fair. That would probably be some great cross synergy right there.
I agree with this.
I can't believe he didn't just run the ad right there. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you didn't just roll the Purple Valley right there.
I have like a million different drops. Sometimes it takes me a while to find.
BS and Beer Media is sponsored by Purple Valley Farms Marijuana. We got that good.
Tempt fate.
My eyes not as good as it used to be.
Taco Bell, that could be you. You could be paired with that ad right there.
Right there.
We're talking
now all I've got stuck in my head is the chicken soft tacos from Del Taco. That's where my head's at right now. I'm gonna have trouble focusing on anything else for a while.
They got a good hamburger there too. Go ahead.
The Double Del.
Yes, the Double Del.
I talk about this all the time, that it's one of the best drive-through burgers. Dude, we could do a whole show about drive-through, right?
Dude, I unironically agree, man. People flame me for that, for getting burgers at Del Taco.
My favorite drive-through fries are the Del Taco crinkle cut fries.
Oh, good choice. They need to bring that to everywhere else in America.
They need that everywhere else.
Yeah,
In-N-Out can wait. It's making its way slowly, but Del Taco needs to jump out there.
Yeah, you can keep In-N-Out. Like, I don't want that.
I will throw hands, brother.
No, it's good.
I will throw
In-N-Out's
hands. In-N-Out
great.
is bomb, dude.
Yeah, In-N-Out is great.
If you're not getting a 3x3 animal style and some animal style fries on top of that, if you're not doing that right, then you can't tell me that it's not good, because you're not doing it right.
Yeah, Dale, look, you're right on a lot.
I got a hamburger and I got the regular fries and it's, and I got a Coke. No, you get the black and white shake, you get the animal style burger, triple patty at least, and you get the animal style fries. I'm not going to hear anything else. All right, I'm not going to hear some nonsense about someone who's not doing it right.
This is pro gamer advice right here, coming to you from an expert. So for anyone listening that has access to In-N-Out, there you go. They don't have that on the menu. You just got to know that.
Bigger menu stuff. I was an offensive lineman in California. I've been to In-N-Out more than a couple of times, Dale, and I will fight you on this one.
You keep the In-N-Out.
Third down for what?
Let's talk seriously here, because it's the final week. We may go to playoffs. We may not go to playoffs.
We will not.
It's no longer really in our hands, and I hate that feeling. So, the question for today: how will they break our hearts this season? Now, this question comes from Saints Report. Saints Man 209 posted this, and I really feel this in my soul.
God, there is a lot of good posts on that thread, and I felt like I had thought of all the various ways that we could have our hearts ripped out, like has happened to us many seasons in the past, and some people have come up with some creative ways to do it. I think the conventional wisdom suggests that we'll beat we will beat Atlanta, only for Carolina to, of course, blow it against Tampa Bay. But it's not necessarily that Tampa will beat Carolina, because everyone expects that, but it has to be Carolina's up 21-0 at the half or something, and people are starting to think, wow, this might just happen.
Like the Rams and Niners game.
Yep. God.
Yep.
Freaking Rams. Can't count on them to do anything. And I'll tell you what, you cannot count on the Panthers to do our job for us. Can't do it. They won't. It's not going to happen.
No, they won't. No. So for me, this question is kind of loaded, because I don't think that the Saints aren't going to break our hearts in Week 18. I think we're probably going to. All right. I've been saying, we're going to get blown out. We're going to shut up. I said that last week too. We're going to handle them. Atlanta's ready to go on their vacations. They got their golf bags packed. I think there's a real chance that Carolina beats the Bucs. The Bucs have a lot of injuries right now, including their quarterback. Can't throw the ball. So all these things are potentially possible. They won't. I think us and the Bucs both win, and we end our season on a winning 4 out of 5 clip. So break our hearts. Yeah. I mean, what they really did was they dragged us through the losing to crappy teams, losing to Minnesota without their quarterback, losing to the Rams, losing to shit we shouldn't have lost to. That was really the breaking our hearts, because we're kind of handling the business towards the back end. Where you want to get good, we got good towards the end. We just didn't make up enough ground before then. So to ask how they're going to break our hearts, they're going to break our hearts by Kamara not playing the last game and Lattimore leaving the team and Michael Thomas wasn't utilized properly and then got hurt and Derek Carr didn't live up to some people's expectations. And, we argued about which coach we needed to fire. So, our hearts were broken slowly on the torture rack of this season, but it's not going to be a moment. Sometimes it's a moment. Sometimes it's a tight end pushing off in the end zone. Sometimes it's a no call. Sometimes it's a meaningless miracle to a team that gets blown out the following week. There's a lot of things that have ripped our hearts out of our chests, and I don't think we're going to have one of those moments this year. It's kind of just going to be disappointing. More so because I think we're going to win. We're going to beat the Falcons, even if it's close. We're going to beat them. We're going to win 4 out of our last 5, and it's not going to matter. And that sucks.
But there's still the wild card. There's still more creative ways that we could be disappointed.
So that we can wait another 3 or 4 hours to be disappointed.
Yeah.
You need Green Bay and Seattle to both lose. And that's assuming that we then win. And that's a lot of ifs, man.
At least it keeps us watching.
This doesn't happen until like 3:30, right?
Yeah. At least one of those.
Our game will be over by 3, so we're only waiting another 3 hours. No.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's where disappointment comes from. I could see the Cardinals maybe being up, and then at the end they lose to Seattle, and all our hopes and dreams,
You see what I'm saying, though? But that's disappointing. But that's not the Saints breaking our hearts.
True.
They did what they had to do down the stretch.
True.
They had to go into Tampa and they had to win. They had to hold serve at home against the Falcons. They did that. The only game in the last 5, assuming we beat the Falcons, the only game in the last 5 that we lost was a short week with a banged up roster against the Rams. That's kind of when you expect to lose, frankly. So, we took care of business towards the end, and it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be heartbreaking. It's going to be depressing.
Depressing, yes. Look, I can more likely than Carolina beating Tampa Bay, I could see Arizona beating Seattle, especially because it's in Arizona. I could see Chicago beating Green Bay. Those things are possible. The amount of things that has to happen is not likely. So I think we're all just kind of expecting it. But, up until recently, the Saints having a winning season, wasn't always the standard. So to me, at the very least, and I'm not trying to be too optimistic here. I've been too negative this show, though, so maybe this will help counterbalance it. Ending the season with a winning record is at least nice. It doesn't mean anything if you don't go to the playoffs, but it just shows that, hey, there's some improvement. And since we know they're not firing Dennis Allen, they're not moving on from Carr, at least, I don't think momentum really carries over between seasons, but it at least shows that this is a place where, you can win, you can show a little bit of improvement, and, maybe we get that much better next year. Who knows?
That was the word right there, because I felt like, the past few years we've been using momentum to say, hey, we just had, a little bit more time or something like that, because we had this momentum and we were gonna bring this into next season and expect to build off of it. And I don't think that's what happens with this team. And I don't want us to get confused or tricked into thinking we've got some momentum and we're building something. The offense is going to look better, because we got serious problems. So
I figured it out.
I don't want to think that. Yeah,
I figured out just now how the heartbreak could really be the most painful, which is completely possible. Now that I know what the possibility is, I kind of feel like what's going to happen. Carolina's going to beat Tampa. Seattle's going to lose. Green Bay's going to lose. Everyone we needed to lose is going to lose, and we're going to shit the bed and lose.
Oh, there you go.
That would be the most painful thing I could imagine to end this season.
Yeah. That would suck. And that'd be the most Saints way of doing it, too.
That would be the Saintsiest way to fuck this up.
But, another thing I was thinking, too, is that, we have a tradition of, I guess, shit in the bed like that. Okay. But so do the Bucs, right? It's not like the Bucs are world beaters. They have a tradition of doing embarrassing, dumb stuff, too. So we might get lucky, and the Bucs might out-Saint us. You never know.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
we're going to pick this game. We've got the Saints versus the Falcons. The winner of this game gets into the playoffs with the Bucs loss. Saints can also get into the playoffs with the win and losses by Green Bay and Seattle. So
Atlanta still gets in if they win and the Bucs lose.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, they're still in it.
Yeah. So I thought this week against the Bucs was like the best coaching job that we've seen so far this year. DA kind of talked about
everybody wants to win, and everybody is willing to work to win. But there's a certain level of commitment that it takes to really win at a high level in our league, and I just think, we had to put a little bit more into it, a little bit more into the preparation, a little bit more focus into it, because if you want to be a playoff team or a championship caliber team, it takes a little bit extra. And I just challenged our guys to give that little bit of extra. I thought our guys responded the right way last week. We'll see how they respond this week, but I feel good about the way they've prepared.
So what's the likelihood of DA having 2 great coaching weeks back to back?
Guys, let's be real, man. We outcoached the Bucs because we had an extra 4 days to prepare.
Yeah. Well,
this team is reliant on out scheming you, and we had an extra 4 days because we played on Thursday. That's why we outcoached them. Our coaches are not better than the Buccaneers coaches. Our players might be coin flip, I don't know, but we outcoached them because we had more time. We don't have more time this time.
That quote, like why hasn't DA been doing that all season? Talks about the dedication and everything that goes into winning. Like, where was that for 8 of, the last 16 games? Keep chopping wood.
Why haven't they, B-Train? Answer the damn question.
Yeah.
Because he's a crap coach. Because he's not a good head coach.
Saints will get embarrassed on TV, and then he'll just come out and say, "Yeah, we just got to keep chopping wood. I like what I see out there.
Got to play better. I think we need to play better. I think the guys know they need to play better. I think we need to perform better. And we need to prepare better. That's on the coaches, but it's on the players. I think they got to play better. Yeah, we know they got to be better. I get it. Thank you.
I swear he gives the most boring press conferences ever,
and he does it slowly. You notice that he'll speak super fucking slowly to say nothing.
Yeah. Maybe he does that in purpose.
I think I think we gotta prepare. It's like shut up. You could have told me 3 times already what you wanted to fucking say. You're not saying anything. Just get it out there. Just spit the fuck out.
Yeah. God. Peyton would get fiery sometimes, at least, but yeah, Dennis Allen's just like, yep, we gotta score more points than the other guys.
He's the embodiment of my he's the embodiment of my relax segment.
Yeah, it's inspirational, actually. I wish I could be like him after the Saints lose.
I'm usually too busy drunk and fighting with my wife.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, man. So, for sure, it looks like, it's starting to look like AK not going to play. But we're going to have Cam Irving in at right tackle. And so far, when he's been called upon, he's been looking pretty okay.
Pretty okay.
Yeah. I don't notice them out there as offensive linemen. When I don't notice you, you're doing a good job. That's how offensive line play goes, correct? You know it.
Most underappreciated people in the world.
That's how it is, sadly. But I mean, look, we got to start getting used to life without Ram, sadly, because he has terminal bonitis or whatever Ty J. Spears has. So probably not going to be around much longer.
Yeah, it sucks. And he struggled a little bit early in the year. and he kind of worked himself back in, and he was playing at a high level again. Maybe not at his all pro years level, but he was certainly playing well enough to win games. And it just sucks, it's Michael Thomas all over again. It's having an elite talent that just can't put it on the field, and it sucks. It's a bummer. I mean, that's all it is. It's a bummer.
He's been so good in the past, and he's still relatively young. So it is a shame, because I kind of viewed him as being like one of those guys that was just going to anchor the line for many years to come. So yeah, if it's true, all these reports that his career could be potentially over, or at least not looking very bright going forward, I mean, that really sucks. And seeing the hole that we have at left tackle as well, I mean, good God, man.
My boy Penning's going to lock that down next year.
I hope you're right.
Hold on, I've got a drop for that too. I've got to find it first, though. I've got a drop for that one.
No, let's just move on.
Where are you, drop?
Control F. Penning. Type in Penning.
He's trying to find his bust alert so he can piss me off one more time.
Bust alert. Bust.
Hey, keep that one ready, because I feel like we're going to need it again in a minute.
Yes, because
how Jamal Williams is our only running back this week.
Nah, Jamal. Well, maybe actually. Yeah, you're right. It's not about him, though.
I'll be right. Will Kendrick Miller play? Because I heard earlier in the week, Kendrick Miller was saying, hey, it was up to me. I'm playing. And then the last thing I read was like he was sick.
Yeah,
couldn't practice.
Yeah.
Bust alert.
Yep. There it is. There it is.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up, Craig.
Facts don't lie. Stats don't lie, Craig. I hope, honestly, I hope we see him. I feel like we need him, but I'm not expecting it. He got the sniffles or something.
Why would you expect it at this point? I mean, he's been active for what, 5 games this year? And one of them was Green Bay, where he had a couple of touches, and everything else he's been kind of an afterthought. I'm not ready to call a guy a bust after a year, because that's ridiculous and stupid. But man, I was hoping for more out of him this year.
It's only ridiculous and stupid if it's for a player that you don't want to call a bust. I want to call him a bust, so I think it's a completely legitimate football.
It's just nuts, man. You draft a guy, and Aaron Rodgers didn't play his first year there. Was he a bust because his first year didn't play out? Like that's an unreasonable standard to hold somebody to. If they don't perform as a rookie, then they're garbage. Cam Jordan had 1 sack as a rookie. Was he a bust?
Rodgers was a Jets bust too, so he actually was a bust for both of the first year of both teams he's played for.
Y'all see what I have to work with on this show? you see what I have to deal with?
The level of football, prognostication and expertise unparalleled here on the Beer Run podcast.
For anyone out there wants to send me a beer to keep doing this bullcrap, please.
What do you guys expect to see from the Saints offense versus the Falcons when you look at what happened to the defense last week? The Bears kind of tore them up, put 37 points up. Justin Fields threw for 268 yards and a touchdown. He ran for another 45 yards.
Wait. The running back, Justin Fields, threw for how many? That's okay. All right.
Exactly. 268 and a touchdown.
Could that be Carr? Probably not.
Look, if I may, I expect the O-line to regress heavily with all the backups playing, and I don't expect us to be able to replicate that kind of a performance with less time to prepare. So I think we struggle offensively. The question of this game is if we can stop their running game. If we can stop their run, then they'll struggle offensively too, and we're a better roster, so eventually we win by attrition. But if they can run the ball and we're dealing with our O-line problems, that's bad. It's bad news.
We're going to win. We're going to score 28 points, which for this Saints offense, that's like the equivalent to us,
That's a 40-point game with Breeze.
Yeah, and people are going to be going crazy. And at the very end of the game, Jimmy Graham's going to catch a touchdown from Derek Carr, and he's going to slam it on the uprights, and it's not going to matter because the game's over. And then they're going to take a 15-minute pause and go ahead and just immediately induct Jimmy Graham into the Saints Ring of Honor and NFL Hall of Fame right there on the field. And then they'll pan to the scoreboard and show that Tampa Bay is beating Carolina 63-0.
Hell yeah. I love this.
I was a
word,
happier person
free
before
beat
this
train.
podcast. I want all of you to know that.
But you got your beer. You might want to crack open another one.
I'm running. I brought
Yeah,
two, and I'm running. Look at this. This is what I got left. People are the worst.
I'm helping you to meet the 2-drink minimum.
I had
There you
one
go.
before we recorded. I'm good.
Oh damn! I had a 2-drink
The
minimum. I had a
Falcons.
Truly and a Mountain Dew.
Son of a
There you go. The Falcons are number 8 in the NFL running the ball at about
bitch. Only 8.
130 yards per game. So, for sure, we don't want them to run the ball. That's what they want to do. Last week, Taylor Heineke, their starting quarterback, he went 7 of 20 when he was kept clean in the pocket. He went 7 of 20. That was absolutely terrible.
With a clean
So,
pocket.
I don't think there's I don't think it's any kind of way he's going to start the game. So I'm pretty sure they're going to start Ritter at quarterback.
Makes
doesn't
no
matter.
difference.
Just with the quarter.
It doesn't matter if they can run the ball. Then whoever's at quarterback doesn't matter.
They better run the ball.
That's
They
as simple
drafted
as it is.
they drafted a running back. What, number 4 overall? That's crazy. He's good, but come on.
Was it 4th? Was that high?
I don't know. It was high up there. Look, I'm one
They
true.
have weapons. Drake London is overrated because he went to
Overrated.
overrated you. And
Yeah. Thank you.
And
University
Kyle
of spoiled
Pitts is
children.
overrated, and Bijan Robinson's a stud, but they don't use him right. So like they have weapons. The problem is their O-line, their coaching, and their quarterback.
Oh, he's number
Are
8.
all important pieces.
For the first time ever, I was wrong. He was number 8 overall.
Oh, see, I said 7. I was wrong too. Okay, I'm there with you. I'm just closer to being right because I'm better than you.
That's true. That's actually very true. But we both agree that it's totally insane to draft a running back in this day and age. This isn't,
Man.
the 60s, man. Come on. You're not drafting a running back because you could get an undrafted guy that's going to perform, maybe not quite as well, but the difference is negligible.
I mean, yeah, you can get a guy from TCU and he'll play 2 games, or you could skip over a guy from Tulane and you'll hear
Yeah.
about it all fucking off season. So
And that's
running
been my
backs are-
goal. That's been my
running backs
goal.
are a real
want
mixed
people to
bag
get-
right there.
I want people to get so sick of it that they'll just be like, wish they just drafted that guy.
No
Yeah.
comments.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No comment. So yeah, for me, you
Oh,
stop the run, you win that game. Maybe going away.
Yes.
Maybe it's not close if you can stop their run. Which, if you score early, can't run the ball as much late in the game. There's a lot of pieces to it.
There you go.
I don't really expect us to score early like we did this last week. I think having the extra time and having the better game plan. That was the first opening drive touchdown the
God.
Saints had all season.
All year.
And you have to
Crazy.
think that's
Yeah.
because they had extra time to prepare and plan for it. Like there's a correlation. You had extra time to plan for it, and you came out sharp.
I mean, we came off from a bye week before,
Yeah.
so-
But the team we
I
were
mean-
playing was also coming off a bye. Wasn't it Atlanta? Like,
Yeah,
we
I think
both-
they had a bye as well. So
Yeah, that was
we
BS.
didn't have any extra time.
Yeah. But you got to eventually, you got to think eventually you're going to accidentally score on an opening drive, which is maybe what happened here.
That's what happened. We accidentally there was a car throw across the middle that should have been picked, and it wasn't. So
Yeah.
Well, we're due for 2 in a row. How about that?
That'd be
Take
nice.
second.
Now, the problem that kind of compounds the Falcons being number 8 in the NFL and running the ball is since week 12, Saints have allowed the 5th most rushing yards per game and the 6th most missed tackles per attempt. So
It's not good.
that's a problem.
Well, that's tricky though because it's inconsistent. Because you had games like the first Falcons game, you had games like the Rams game where we're terrible against the run, can't stop a nosebleed, and you have games like the Giants with Saquon Barkley, who is an elite running back, and then Tampa, who has been running the ball decently all year but worse lately, and you completely shut them out, and they can't run the ball for nothing. So the team, like everything else, it is so inconsistent that you can't plan for it. Are we a bad run defense? We were for a lot of the year, but we were really fucking good at it a couple of times. So you don't really know what you're getting. That's the whole question. I have no idea what's going to happen until maybe second quarter on Sunday. And then I'll have an idea what kind of game we're playing because none of it makes sense.
Well, and that the last game we played against the Panthers, they had 200 yards rushing. They had
200 yards rushing, but like garbage time rushing because they were
we just
down
won.
and out and they were just running anyway. So that's going to skew your stats right there.
Yeah, so I don't think they match up as badly as maybe one would think just from looking at the stats. But yeah, I do think they're gonna show. I mean, they just got to shut down the run right away. If they can score like Craig was saying, then
you get up 10 or 14 first half, completely different game.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's pick this game. We have Atlanta coming to New Orleans, and Atlanta has won 3 of the last 4 games versus the Saints.
Really?
And
Gross.
Yes.
Oh.
That pisses me off.
And this week, the Saints are a 3-point favorite. So, B-Train, who you got?
I got the Saints 28-17. I think we're going to finish strong.
All right.
Why did I think he was going to say 28-3? That we were going to beat him 28.
Because there's no way. I just saw them shut out the Bucs as well as they did, and they still ended up giving up points at the end. So I thought about that, and that'd be great, but there's no way this defense is holding a team to 3 points right now.
I'm not sure they're going to hold anybody to 17.
Oof. We'll see.
Okay. What's your prediction, Craig?
All right, so 100-0 Falcons.
Oh no.
No, fuck these guys. Fuck these still making Katrina jokes and memes, bullshit pieces of fucking asshole, bandwagon pieces of fuck them. I am
garbage.
No, hell no. So I think it's ugly. I don't think we block as well. I don't think we play as well. We win 24-20, and we let everybody else let us down because we're going to handle some business. 24-20, and we're up 24-10 at one point, and it gets close late.
As is tradition.
Okay. All right. I like to score 26-20 Saints. I think we come out hot, put up some points, and later on we start giving up a few points that make it closer than it needs to be. So that's my prediction. And of course, I also predict that we would not make it to the playoffs because the things that we want to happen won't happen, and we're going to be heartbroken about it. There we go.
Yeah, sounds about right.
That's right. So, all right, yo. We got anything else on your mind before we wrap this thing up, man?
Look, man, last show of the regular season, man, I've had such a good time with you guys and being able to talk to y'all about something that we love so much. And I'm thankful for every single person that clicks on us by accident when you're looking for a better show. Thank you all so much for being with us through all this bullshit. I am appreciative. Dale's appreciative. B-Drain's an asshole, so he's probably not.
That's right.
But, man, this has been fun. We're going to have some off-season stuff to talk about next week. Maybe we take a week off because we're too hungover from our depression. We'll see how that goes. You know, it's a grab bag. We're going to play it on the fly. We're going to be fluid. We're going to be juicy, loosey-goosey with it, baby. So for myself, for the California Cajun, for Lil Dice, for B-Train, for the entire BS and Beer family, including Dave's Loud House Truck and the Godfather Tomas, this has been the beer run for the 2023 season. Have a beer. It's on me.
Who dat?
Remember to follow us on social media at bsnbeer Media. Also, smash the like button on YouTube and share with friends.